Click and click. Cancel? Alright. Is this a real commander? It is. Wait, what? Is that old? It's that old? This list is from 2024. I have not once seen this commander ever. Well, that's kind of sketchy. Alright, well, that's not going to help me. Alright, what's got good cycling? Oop, 6-4. X is the greatest power. During each of your turns, you may play a land. I guess all of these? It's only one of them. Greatest power among creature. Player mills. Well, there's enough that makes it... When you cycle to put 2 counters on a creature... Yeah, there's enough, like, goofy, funny things that make it easy to swing for at least 6. I don't know how many I'm supposed to play, but they do cycle. I mean, that's worth something. Oh, this is actually kind of interesting. For the first time in years, I feel like I'm off to a good start. 5 minutes in. When you cycle this card, shuffle in your library. If you've done it 4 times, you just get it. Okay. First strike counter. Okay. Could be interesting. Boomer Jund? What do you mean? Dies or put in your graveyard. Make a second one go in the graveyard. That doesn't really matter. How many am I supposed to play? I don't know. All of them. And then I guess Buried Alive. Oop. Buried Alive doesn't feel like it makes a lot of sense, actually. Kind of cycle my creatures. I don't keep them in hand, really. You could also play, like... Well, there's a bunch of stuff you can do, actually. Faithless Looting. I gotta get the stupid... What is this stuck on? What are you stuck... What is it this time? What is it this time, microphone? What do you want? What are we stuck on? Nothing? Okay. I'm just being stupid. Tarmogoyf? No, I don't watch MTG Goldfish. I use their website. Look at their like deck list sometimes, but I don't. Is it Saffron Olive? Yeah, I don't watch his content. Persist. Emperor of Bones? Possibly. There's a there used to be this guy who did Popper and Magic Goldfish, and he had like it was basically ASMR. Like I was so quiet when he spoke. I liked that guy's content. That was like 10 years ago, maybe even longer. Very long time ago. But I don't watch Saffron stuff. Sneak attack? Sneak attacking these things has something about it, maybe? Defense of the Heart. Was it Morgan? Don't know. He played it was Blue Red Delver in Popper 10 years ago. Oh, Crucius. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it anything? Yeah, I can. Run in 6 is okay. I can cast it and grab lands I've been milling. I think I want Faithless Looting. And, can I win with... It's hardly a green deck right now, unfortunately. I can't play the old Eldrazi. Hmm. I think I want the One Ring. You used to it now? That's funny. That is kind of the reason I don't watch it. That's like the one major thing that I'm like, I think I'm just not gonna watch this. It's not his fault. I have no quarrel. I'm sure someone could say the same about me, so. In fact, I think someone has. Like 2 years ago. I think. Maybe it was something else. I don't know. Oh, Hoarding Broodlord? Hmm. Wait, how do I win? It's like sacrifice on half. Peer Shieldred? I need a lot of stuff for that. Terminus is okay. It's any spell, right? You may cast. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot about Necromancy again. And I guess Dark Ritual. Wait, is that in here? Yeah. Faithless Looting. Gamble? This is a cool commander. I'm surprised. I don't have any good 3s. Heartseek. Do I want all the rampant growths? I don't know. It's kind of, like, insane to not play Burgeoning. It's pretty... I think it's super easy to use Molt Tender without cucking my commander's power. Sylvan Safekeeper is actually pretty useful too, isn't it? Worldly Tutor is... Yeah. I guess Aftermath, Analyst, and Lumra. Lumra's also interesting. Oh, we can play the Hierarch. Ooh, we can play the Hierarch. I don't know the last time I was able to play this card. I guess Kami Grazer. I guess. I've been a little off of Grazer lately. Yeah, Burgeoning Exploration are kind of dumb. I think they should go. Exploration does feel like an auto loss. I'm not a fan of that one. It kind of makes me not want to play it. Just like Ragavan. Like, yeah, you won, but you didn't really play a game that's interesting to watch on YouTube. This is the greatest list I've seen in my life. Look at that curve. This is peak. Oh, the lands, yeah. Shocks, Verges, Pathways? I think. Maybe they should all at least tap for green. I have a lot of color fixing, though. Like an above average amount. Even for a green deck. Yeah, I can probably get away with like a very few two colored lands. Oh, I guess I really want the Surveil ones. What's the black-red Surveil land called? There it is. Journey is actually pretty good here. Yeah, I think 1 minute cards usually end up being the strongest thing in the game. Well, the good one drops, not the bad ones. It's like if you nerf something from 1 to 2, it is like the biggest nerf you could possibly do. Because 2 to 3 is way less. Reliquary? No, no Reliquary Tower. Urborg. Yavimaya? I suppose? Again, I have so much color fixing in this deck that it doesn't seem like there's any reason to risk helping your opponent get their colors that they might need and don't have. Just there's not going to be many games where I wish I had Yavimaya, especially with a lot of these cards actually cycle into a land. So I'm like, it's like impossible to get color screwed here. I could probably run even more basics, actually. I think I need... maybe I should cut back on some of these do-nothing cards that just cycle. And I can play other things, like... okay, which ones of these are, like, not great at all? This one, maybe. Actually, that one's okay. This one feels eh. Do I even want the Great Henge? I don't see myself as drawing with this much. Even if it comes into play cheap. It just doesn't seem like I'm casting a bunch of giant draft fillers. That could be maybe not true. Maybe they do enter play and maybe they do matter. I mean, why not try it? When you cast or cycle, you get a little doge. This is okay. Maybe you can avoid the 3 mana cyclers, though. You think they help your opponent out most of the time? I don't think so. I think most of the time they don't do anything. But sometimes they help your opponent. There's no reason to do that, I feel. But I wouldn't say it's like above 50%. It's probably like, I don't know, a fifth or maybe even a tenth of the time. This one, reveal a land, put it in your hand. When you cycle this, you may search out for... isn't there one that puts it right into play? How did I not add that one? Alright, I'm taking these two out. How did I not... whoop. How did I not add the... does it not exist? Oh, it's not a cycle. It's not a cycle, it's a channel. Ah. Yes. Okay, let me look at channels. Okay, that was like the only one. Oh, this is kind of cool. It gives it trample. Like, you give the Undertaker what? +8 plus ally trample? I mean, that's kind of cool. Kind of. It's not that exciting. It doesn't exactly give haste. It's also only 5 power. It's kind of interesting, though. It does give trample. I still feel like I have too many, because you only really need one. Greatest power on creatures and graveyards. Yeah, you only need one. I should also play Ulamog just for the sake of a giant power creature. I need a bunch of power. Atali is weird. I'm going to say it's better than that thing. Yeah, I think they have too many cyclers. I think this thing's power is... I don't know. I think this thing's power is 0/0? Or is it not? Is it like Tarmogoyf? Like, this is a 7/7 in the graveyard? It doesn't put itself to the graveyard, so... it's not particularly ideal. Greatest power among creatures, so I could play this relatively fast and have whatever this thing is doing in play. It's not that scary, though, unfortunately. It's still kind of cool. I like the discounting on power things, because that's what we're trying to do. That looks like Golos riding the horse. Is that Golos? No, it's not Golos. It looks like Golos, doesn't it? Maybe it's the same, like, thing as Golos? I just want it to be Golos. That is also true. Okay, let's take out Canyon Crawler. Try Mitotic Ultimus. Mitotic. Cityscape can be unearthed. Yeah, I want the Defiler. The Defiler. I also kind of want more ramp spells. This is a 4-minute commander. Maybe Ren and 6 isn't that exciting. It's okay, I guess. Ice-Till Explorer also just mills. I wonder if you could... There might be enough green cycling things to just play green ones. I mean, actually, there is enough green ones. The best ones are the green ones, too, which is kind of funny. I mean, they're mostly already green, to be fair. To be fair, they're basically already green anyways. I don't think Buried Alive does much here. It can, like, put 13 in play, but it can't give it trample or anything. It just, now you have 13. A 13/5. I need to function without my commander. That's like the main thing. I need a way to play the game without my commander, so I'm going to be less in on it. There's already like a ton of stuff to do with it anyways. So let's just get rid of the, like, egregiously bad ones, and then... because you really don't need many. You really don't need many at all. It only cares about the biggest one. It doesn't, like, stack. Also, your opponent could randomly have something that makes all of yours irrelevant. Technically. Not terribly likely, though. Yeah, I want Cultivate. Like, being able to cast these things, I think, is a good idea. And it is certainly possible to do as such. Oop, that's not how you spell search at all. I'm just a bit surprised this commander has been in the game the whole time. I've never played against it. I've never read it. Until the other day, someone played it against me. They played it against me and then they exploded it because it didn't do anything. I guess the Bloom Vine. I want like all the cultivates in the universe. I almost want more basics, actually. Does the second mountain do anything? Not really. The second mountain doesn't do that much. It's kind of okay, but it doesn't do that much. I feel like it's safe to still add one. Maybe I could take out the pathway? The black-red pathway? Yeah. Do I even have that in here? I might not. Oh, there is it. Yeah, that can go out. I'll just remind myself to add a mountain at the end of it. I don't think this is Valakut. I don't think this is Thespian Stage. Dark Depths. I suppose Traverse. You play your commander and then you traverse. I really wish this had an ETB mill. It doesn't mill on entering, which is like kind of egregious. Oh yeah, Green Sun Zenith. What am I zenithing? Not much. Not much, but I can grab certain things. Bloomvine Tender is a scary card sometimes, too. What is Green Sun Zenith actually doing? Not anything crazy. Not anything crazy. I think I'm actually going to take out Grazer again. Keeps happening to me. I could go up to 50 lands, maybe 45 or something. Palantir mills. Your opponent doesn't want to mill. It also has the capacity to slam them in the face for like 10, which is really funny. Yeah, Palantir feels like I should really run it. Oh, the red-green evoke thing. It's a lightning bolt and a Sylvan Tutor. Okay, maybe I don't need Sylvan Tutor in this deck. A Demonic Tutor is a good card, though. What was I just talking about? Sylvan something? Sylvan's crying? I feel like Traverse is worth trying. I could try to shoehorn Pock in here as well. Maybe Lumbering World Wagon is slightly better than Pock. What is World Wagon? Yeah, World Wagon's a good card. I don't feel like there's room for rampant growths in here, so... I don't like Mesmeric Orb that much. I feel like most of the time, if I were to mill 10 a turn, it ends up, on average, helping my opponent about the same as me. I don't think I'm struggling to put a giant thing in the graveyard, and I definitely don't want to put cards in my opponent's graveyard, if you can avoid that. But I haven't tried it yet. It could end up being the only way it works, but I don't want to play that right now. There are... almost every single deck in the game can use its graveyard in some way. Almost every single deck has something. And all you're doing is milling your opponent and giving them access to a graveyard. And I think I can just not do that. There's Slimefoot in Squee? Does that do anything, actually? Maybe it doesn't do anything. I have to read it again. What do you do? Saproling, sack it, return This and another thing. Yeah. It works. It works as good as it does. And not a moment, not a bit more than that. There was another thing I was thinking about. Maybe it's best I forget so I don't add it. I still feel like the ramp is too shy. Alright, I don't think I need Ren in 6. And I think Ice Till Explorer. Oh yeah, Ice Till Explorer. I think that was a... Ice Till Explorer and Lumina. Oh, and Palantir. Ah, damn it. Alright, what is Gamble doing? Do we have good helm targets? Not really. Also have a pretty moderate chance of just milling it and then feeling bad. That's not totally true. I have Defense of the Heart. I can go to helm people here. Especially with Sneak Attack. Yeah, you can do that. You could take out some of these funny draft cards too, so... I have room for this. And I think it works. It does make maybe Gamble not the idea. It also gives me a better Buried Alive. Yeah, this is actually a perfectly fine Godo deck. It was enough to make it think I want to... Makes it think I want another mountain. Okay, so let's look at the poop, because that's the first thing that we would consider removing. So what is the poop? What's all this poop? Do I need all of this poop? I don't think I do. Again, I think I need, like, you want the bare minimum amount of whatever this is. This puts a land to your hand. It's 3 mana, and it's only 6 power. That one can go. I like the Crocodile. I like the 3 Lord of the Rings ones. The Crocodile, those... What is this? 7 minutes for 7/7 forest cycling. I think this is okay. This is almost functionally identical. It almost exactly is the same card. Basic land, it's 6 instead of 7. Okay, that one can come out. This just has flat cycling. Maybe only keep the ones that find, like, lands or something. Just don't play the worm. Okay. I won't go any lower than this. Like, I might even end up adding 1 or 2 back in. It feels dangerously low, but we'll see. We shall see. Evening it is. Traverse makes Pock better. How do I make room for all this nonsense? No Terminus? Maybe I don't play Emperor of Bones. Exiling... Yeah, maybe not. It's only good with, like, certain things, and I don't want to exile my own thing that's making my commander something that might matter. Yeah, I think I want Pock. Uh. I don't have anything to do with the One Ring. I'm going to take the One Ring out. No. No, I'm not. I'm just not the brightest person. I stared at him for a while to make sure I didn't do that. And of course, I did it anyways. Something's short-circuiting me. Yeah, this one. It's the flooded strand that shouldn't be in here. I went and stared at him for a while to make sure I had all of them. Looked at Scalding Tarn, like, no, that's not the right one. And then I didn't put it in. Which is... the only reason I really looked is because of Ice Till Explorer. I'm like, alright, make sure you have all the fetch lands for Ice Till Explorer. And I suppose Pock now. And I just stared at it. I'm like, I know I'm going to get frustrated if I missed one by the end of the... end of playing the deck. And what do you know? After staring at it, I would have ended up missing it anyways. I am very disorganized in my brain. Alright, my commander has to attack, so no wagon. I'm gonna keep... maybe I don't even want Aftermath Analyst or Lumra. They're alright. It's okay. I could take out... two of these, like that. I think that's functional. We have a lot of... yeah, this works. We have so many 1-minute cards that are basically lands as well, so... alright. This is like the most insane looking curve thing I've ever seen. But it's funny. I'm surprised I haven't seen more of the... in fact, it took me till, what, like 2 days ago to realize this was in the game. It's a... Coram? I was about to call it Coram. Coram the Undertaker. 4 mana 0/5. It gets plus X plus O, where X is the greatest power among creatures in all graveyards. So if your opponent has Ulamog, it's a 10/5. If you have Ulamog, it's a 10/5. And then when it swings, each person mills 1 card. And then each of your turns, you can play a land and cast a spell from among things that were milled. So you can cast the... I didn't even really notice that. You can actually cast your opponent's spells. So that's kind of cool. It doesn't have an ETB. I really wish it did, but it doesn't. So it has to swing, and it's a 4-mana card that could potentially swing with no power. But swinging with no power is not the issue. It's mostly just trying to cast a 4-mana commander that doesn't do anything, and then untapping with it and swinging with it, and maybe doing something crazy. But I suppose, yeah, you can steal your opponent's spells. There are some cycling things. Actually, I shouldn't even say some. There's a bunch of, like, cycling cards, if I can find one, like this. So you can pretty easily put it to, like, 6 or 7 very quickly. There's a ton of these. I don't know how many I'm supposed to run. I think you should run the bare minimum. So you have, like, 1 every game on average. I think I have, like, 7 or something. But there's like 25 you can play. I'm just playing what I think are like the best ones and the minimum amount of them, because you don't get anything from the second one, right? It only cares about the largest thing. So if it's either a 6 or a 7 cycled, it doesn't matter if you've done it 5 times. You ideally want to just sort of do it once and not have your deck full of like pack filling draft commons. So that's what I'm doing. But some are very interesting, like the one that gives trample to your commander and is 11. This one is extremely significant. It's like the best one. And when I played against this, after having never seen it in my life, of course it had the best one. So that's interesting. But there's another interesting one as well. It's the... maybe I don't have it in here anymore. That is really the standout-ish one. There's one that gives, like, a first strike counter, and then one that gives it, like, trample or something, but only temporary, and you also, like, those ones need this in play already, so you can't, like, cycle ahead of time, and you're probably going to do that anyways, right? So, with the exception of this one. So I want the bare minimum of that thing, but I have Slimefoot, I have Palantir to, like, mill. I don't like Mesmeric Orb. Yeah, you can mill yourself a lot. You can, I guess, reanimate whatever you mill if you have that card and you didn't mill reanimate. But there's a lot of the time milling your opponent is not a good idea, because almost 90%, if not more, it's probably more, of commander decks do something with their graveyard, whether it's like Uro or anything. So all you're doing is filling your opponent's graveyard as well, and I don't think we're going to struggle with accomplishing the thing. So I'm not going to play Mesmeric Orb. You could. It might end up being the only way this actually works, but right now I'm not going to put that in here. It's a green deck, so it has all the ramp spells. It is interesting to... Well, I should say it is something you probably have to do, which is try to win without this, because it is susceptible to being answered forever. So you need something else to do, and I think ramping into funny big things is cool, not just simply milling them so your other funny thing becomes the funny big thing. But it's alright. Tiny Bones? I mean, maybe. But yeah, so you have the Reanimate package, Defense of the Heart. This is a green ramp spell that has red in it, so Godo Helm makes sense to me. Also, this is a deck, again, where Helm actually can go onto something else as well and be pretty spooky. You got defense, you got that. Grief is really good. It exiles the card, but it's still Grief, right? You can cheat death it, you can reanimate it, you can just blow someone's opening hand completely out of the water. You could probably put Ragavan in here too. I mean, at this point, one could argue Exploration is just better than Ragavan, and I don't play Ragavan because it leads to games that I can't really put on YouTube, because no one wants to watch me swing with Ragavan turn 1 and my opponent concede. And Exploration kind of does that as well. But hey, they're in the format, everyone else gets to play with them. I want to play with them sometimes too. But no Boreal Grazer again. Could be wrong because I have Flare. But it feels like Grazer has... I've run out of lands really fast with like so many of these effects now I'm just running out of lands in hand, and then I got nothing to do. But I don't know. Grazer's okay, right? I mean, it's in every green deck ever. It's just not in this one. There's Journey, which is cool. You could run Virtue as well. I took out the Terminus of No Return, or for you paper truthers, I was going to call it the One Ring. Whatever the One Ring is for Marvel. The Soul Stone, whatever. The Space Stone. The Purple Man. But I don't have that in here. I had it in here for a second. It didn't seem like I was... It doesn't look like I'm sacking anything to turn it into a Virtue of Persistence. Except Manadorks. And then all I'm reanimating are, like, funny draft fillers. But I don't know. It's got this cool thing to it that makes it interesting to me. We could end up tripling the amount of cycling cards I add, so... I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Before I end up saying I don't know every 2 seconds, I'm gonna move on and actually play the game. Alright, what quests we got here? Both are doable. Let's get rid of that one. Alright. Do both. Should have Bajuka Bog? I'm not going to play Bajuka Bog just to sometimes offset my Mesmeric Orb. That's not a... That doesn't make sense. I mean, it kind of is the next One Ring. Isn't it $100? Isn't it $100? I think it is. Yeah, this the mana cost on this makes Dark Ritual weird. I can always entomb something that attacks my opponent with a significant amount of damage. I'm up against something that probably doesn't care about Coram, and it is a lot faster than at me ever trying to get Goto to win, so it's not looking great right now. So far I've presented things that don't matter to my opponent. Except maybe the Manadork. Okay, well that doesn't matter to me. Let's play this. And then... It's pretty easy to just... Like... I think I'm going to cycle for... a shock land because my life total doesn't matter. And I don't think I'm going to mill. I don't think I have to mill. Especially without reanimate in my hand. I have a fetch land too. Okay, well there goes my solution to that, of course. Of course they have mana to not care about my commander. Surprise, surprise. So we just cast Entomb this turn. I guess I can play that now instead. Swing and... cast Entomb on something. If they want to leave up a counterspell, then now if they want to do it forever, they can't cast their commander, which I'm sure they would like to. Yep, see, I just avoided a counterspell and still got my commander through, which, to be fair, they probably don't care about that much. Let's go ahead and Entomb... I guess it doesn't really matter what I Entomb. Not really. I guess I could do Summon Bahamut as a persist out. Maybe that's something. Let's get you. Oh! Oh, just how he drew it up. I'm a genius. Oh, I'm a genius. I could... Wait a minute. Is there any way to discard... Oh, no, I can't. If I could discard Goto... I could save No, Persist doesn't hit legendaries. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright, well they didn't concede, so there's an obvious answer to Summon Bahamut. Ideally, it's something that doesn't kill it forever, though. I can recast it. It's not unreasonable to do that. It's another Hexing Squelcher player. Seeing more and more of this card. I mean, I guess it's okay. I don't know. The can't be countered thing has not been particularly enticing to me as a thing in this format. But it's not bad. I'm gonna target it. Wow. Oh, wow. I was about to say, I'm about to untap with Summon Bahamut. That's like a world first. Alright, so given what we were up against, I think we played it pretty well, right? Not playing my commander that turn was massive. They just couldn't use that counterspell. And now while they might still have it, it's not really going to do much, right? You have to continuously deal with the board. So I played around a counter. I could just cast this into it anyways, but I don't think I would. And I am somewhat interested in actually attacking. Yeah, we would just blow this up and swing. And they'd have to somehow figure it out from there. Yeah, there's no reason to play into the counterspell, I don't think. But they killed Delighted Halfling for a reason. And also left up 2 mana. Alright, well, that was clean. The two things I was talking about, though, don't matter. Didn't matter, like the Godo and my commander. Like I said, are two angles my opponent probably doesn't care about. But I did find another one. If it were just those two, I was probably doomed. Well, Dark Ritual helps me be a lot faster with Godo, I guess. If I can get him by surprise or something. Okay, I don't know what this is. 1/1 Death Touch, beginning your end step. If a creature died, this perpetually gets... Okay, so it's an ever-growing... weird thing. Sure. Another land? Yeah, why not? Alright, this is a weird one. I think I'm going to Dark Ritual out this thing. And just get it going. I wish I had it last turn, but... Well, that was easy. Whoop. And then, I'd like that, so we keep that on top. I like this a lot, actually. I can put, like, Emrakul on top. Oh, this is a Lyris deck. Okay. That is a Lyris deck. Yes, sirree. What if I just Worldly Tutored for a card that I actually want to draw? That could make a lot of sense to me. Both of those are good mills. Love to see that. They can't even mill me here. I don't think they can mill me. They do! Oh! Beautiful. It's hard to not mill when I did that. It's only the second chapter, so... Or the second counter. May pay creature eggs in the battlefield... Okay. What does that do? When it dies, make a Cyberling. Alright. Alright, my opponent gave me all the black mana I'll ever need. I suppose. Okay, well, that's the dumb card. And of course they've had some way to gain life. Typical. I'm going into 4 mana. Do I have a land in the graveyard? I do. Ice-Till Explorer is interesting. Crucius is interesting. I guess I'll go with Ice-Till. And then name human? Doesn't matter, really. I'm gonna need to play this. Oh, I milled over Reanimate. That's kind of unfortunate. Opponent is extremely confident when they just milled there. I would not have done that. I would have never have milled there. But they did. Sure. That's a lot of stuff in play. My measly little 2/4. holding it down, I guess. This can put in a 1-drop. Okay, so they're just putting in a 2-drop. Hopefully it's not, like, busted. Oh, that's annoying. I think I should block this. That's actually really annoying, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that I shouldn't let that exist. That would be a problem moving forward. Alright, so that, and I guess my commander? It is a very large, it's large and in charge right now, I suppose. I'll play the, oh, well, we can play a land first because we mill again. It doesn't have to be the thing that mills. Alright, well that was a good hit. I think it's more interesting than the other thing I was about to hit. Cycle, it gets trampled indestructible. Alright, so I also have an indestructible clause on my commander. Up to 1 target creature against trample. Till end of turn. What does persist do? Persist doesn't do that much right now. I don't want persist. Well, if they milled, they would have died. They've done that every turn. Okay, what is this? Okay, yeah. Sure. The cycle hath repeat. Gains trample until end of turn. So I should keep this and try to get trample on my opponent's turn? That was not a very good draw. Oh, I can just cast Emrakul. I mean, I think it blows out my opponent enough to actually cast this. I think it does. That's my hot take. And we can swing, because if they don't block it... Wait, I don't care if they block it. I don't care. I suppose I could have swung first, but it don't matter. But like, yeah, you just block with... The whole point of swinging is to kill 5 things. I don't need my commander to continue to exist. I just need to kill a bunch of stuff. Because they have a huge problem still sitting here. Neither of those matter. I did miss my opportunity to play Utopia Sprawl, to be fair. They found a land. Toxic Deluge for 16. Cool. Alright. Love it. I have not done that before. I have never got to do that. At least I don't think I have. Oh no. Oh. They drew the planes too, because they have been on these lands for a while. Oh my goodness, that is so funny. I think they're screwed anyways. Like, I just swing with Luris and Oscillate Pride and kill both with combat, and they don't have much left. Voice could be annoying, but I mean, I just... Oh man. Oh no. I'm sorry. I think they were dead anyways, though, to be fair. It wasn't looking good. I'll say that. It wasn't looking good. And we also get to swing with our commander, so that's cool. And we kind of milled things outside of combat. That was fairly interesting. Alright, Momo's probably going to fly right over me and not care about anything I'm doing. Probably. Turn... I don't even have a turn 2 Pock. This isn't fast enough, but it's all I have, so... Maybe I draw a black source. Alright, well, I'm over it. They take the reanimate, and I miss my land drop. Must be nice. I don't think Pac was going to be fast enough anyways. But it's probably the best thing I could have tried. But my opponent has one of the 2 cards in the entire game I could play. That makes me not have that. No, Ajani just got banned in Historic. Not Brawl. I don't really know why it got banned in Historic. But I don't really play it. I feel like there are way more insane things going on in Historic than Ajani. But I guess I won't miss it. Alright, look at that. We played against someone who actually doesn't want to play against this. I'm rather blown away someone is even aware that this exists and has no desire to play against it, but I'll take it. Again, the first time I saw it was 2 days ago, so... Okay. Nah, I think Necropotence is dumb. I don't think that should... I don't know. I think in EDH, it's weird that Gristlebrand is banned, but not Necropotence. That just seems, like, literally backwards to me. Like, completely backwards. I don't understand that. I don't want to discard Slimefoot. Makes this hand really weird with Crucius. Makes it really weird. You don't play this on turn 1, right? Oh, you do. Okay. I can never remember how all this works on that card. I was hoping Ajani got banned in Historic Brawl, but it didn't. I really think it should only see the same 5 commanders, like Scythus, Kinnan, and all of them. I don't think the vast majority of my decks have any business playing against it. Alright, let's get a red and black. And, bloop. Let's discard Malakir Rebirth for Greater. Just trying to find... Well, I'm not going to cycle that or interested in reanimating it, but next turn I can assemble and probably find something to reanimate. Also, Crucius is still alive. I suppose that would be a part of the equation. Okay, well, not anymore. Yep. Surprise, surprise. What if I just played this? Suppose the secret tech. Just play your Slimefoot. Ice Till. Do I have a land in the graveyard? No. But will I at some point? Oh, I do. I'm an idiot. Alright, yeah, you're chilling. Oh, wait, I can just reanimate Crucius. Wow. I know how the game works. I know how the game works. I know what I'm doing. Let's do lesser, because anything is fine here that is, like, actually castable. Also, this doesn't shuffle. Oh, yep. Perfect answer into perfect answer. I love me some mono perfection. Well, we are interested in milling, so... do I want Utopia Sprawl? Not really. Yeah, I could have just reanimated Ice Till instead of Crucius, I guess. Or I can just have nothing matter because my opponent has infinite removal. I can cast my commander, which doesn't even trade with Grist, because why would it? Lumra? I think Lumra's enough mana that it's worth grabbing here. Play that. Play this. I can't do anything about Haywire Might, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, or are they just... More removal. Well, yeah, why not? More removal. Surely this works, right? Surely you can't do anything about this. There's no stifle or anything. Great Henge is kind of okay, even if the bear is dead. So, which it is dead to Grist. Oh, we just have another removal spell. Oh, yeah, my bad. Alright. Well, it doesn't matter what I reanimated this game. Nothing mattered. I literally mono removal. That's it. Removal, 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 sweeper, removal. Removal, 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 removal. Did I mention removal? So, play this. Yeah. Play this, which they can exile with Haywire Might, which I guess gets rid of Haywire Might, so let's cast that. Get all the basics out of my deck. Or at least most of them. And then pass. Alright, we have 22, no trample, just chilling. And we're almost dead. In fact, I think I might just be dead on board. 4, I'm 1 off from being dead on board. Alright, now it is 2 off. It is now 2 off from being dead on board. At least I can cast my commander every single turn. Would probably still die before I got to actually use it. But I can cast it repeatedly. I'm kind of interested in cracking the fetch lands, but there are so few lands that I would hit, it's probably not worth losing life. Probably. Also, I'm almost just 100% dead anyway, so probably doesn't matter either way. Oh look, a land. That tracks. Cool. That was fun. Removal, 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 and then more removal. Removal, removal, removal. And then you die by 1 once. Literally nothing I did mattered. Everything I tried to cast died. At least I had Omniscience. Must be nice. called Turn 3 Aragorn. With 2 mana dorks, actually. Okay, we didn't go the Aragorn route. Interesting. We went the kill you with a different creature that kills you at the same pace route. I can play my commander instead of my not commander. Another land? Nah. Suppose I could have kept the Surveil for my commander. I don't know. If I somehow play like this, that, equip, I can win in like a 3-turn cycle, which I don't know if I have time for that. Is there any way to get a creature? No, there really isn't. I can blind mill. Is there a combat trick in here? What does that one do? No, there is not. Okay, so I can block this. I see no combat trick, so... Okay, I can play this mill. I think I'm asking for too much, because then I can't also... I don't know, I'm going to cast this. I think I'm almost totally screwed next turn, though. I can play a land. I can get a bunch of lands in play, but that's not enough lands, is it? I'm 1 off from casting this. This would be huge right now. How many lands are in the graveyard? 1, 2, 3. There's a lot of lands in the graveyard. I think I'm dead no matter what. I'm just going to crack this in the off chance that I'm somehow not dead. But I'm pretty sure I might just be dead on board, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's not enough. Alright. Yep, I mean, I literally died to these 2 cards. I couldn't kill them, and I lost. That's it. The entire game was just that. My opponent played Llanowar Elves, and then Llanowar Elves, and then everything else. Didn't matter. I could not kill them. And I was doing the same thing, except what I'm ramping into is too slow. It's just a mono green versus mono green matchup, and they outgreened me. Alright, they're over it. Oh, it's Pep. Okay, cool. This is the second time that's happened today. Against the Undertaker, of all things. Yeah, if I was on the play, actually. If I was on the play, I think I was chilling. It's just... I hate that. That's so irritating to think like that. It's like, yeah, if I was on the play, the game's completely different. Like, completely different. I hate when it boils down to that. But I would also say it kind of boils down to the mana dorks. 2 things exceedingly out of my control. What is this, Xanathar? Xanathar. Does Xanathar care about any of this? No, not really. Not really. Does it care about any of this? Kind of. Cares about it more, I guess. And they have the off chance of drawing a... Do I want to grief immediately? I almost think I do grief turn 1, because it lets me untap with birds of pair. Oh, I can't play birds, right. That was the whole thing. Alright, yeah, we're just passing them. So you cast birds and we're chilling, but I can't. Now we'll do it. Get rid of this. I don't think it's going to matter this game. Cyclonic Rift, House Meld, File of Dumbness. I think I'm going to take the House Meld. It does actually kill Birds of Paradise. And... Bird. I have to do this. There is no choice. I drew a fetch land. That is amazing. Let's play you untapped. And then they can't respond to this. And I'll grab the fetch land. They can respond to it after, but that doesn't deal with it. Bouncing Ice Till is not a solution to Ice Till Explorer. Alright, I milled Emrakul. I think Analyst is okay in this spot. Oh wait, no, never mind. It mills anyways. Forgot about the Ice Till trigger. Is Didge. Alright, they can cast their commander now, and I have a bunch of funny big things that they can randomly take. Yep, we're gonna Ice Till again. Of course, my opponent top decks a counterspell. Really makes sense. We have 7 mana next turn. Lumra. Lumra's good here. Okay, well, I'm keeping the pressure up, I suppose. Xanathar doesn't cast it for free, does it? Top card. No, it doesn't. Did they find a land? Okay, they did. They leave Birds of Paradise alone and something is castable. So, I guess there's no reason not to respect Force Spike. And Counterspell. Of course. Of course, of course, of course. Alright, well. Keep casting threats, my opponent keeps finding answers. Yep. Now they're confident enough to play a 5-6, so I'm probably losing. They did that instead of casting a counterspell or something. I don't know why they ran that out, but they did. I don't think that was necessary. So... Commander? I see no onboard answer to it, and it's a 13-5, so there you go. I guess I'll shuffle... No, I think I'm just going to play this and pass. I think I'm just going to do that instead. There's a lot of things in my deck that are not great hits with the Xanathar. But I suppose not much matters when they've cast 25 counterspells on everything. And I can't play into the board. Also, my commander just, like, trades with theirs, and that feels kind of not good for me at all. Oh, they just wanted to cycle the meat hook. Never mind. It makes sense. Never mind. Okay, well, why not, right? Why not? Why not? Kind of unbelievable, but go figure. Okay. Well, I couldn't swing with it anyways. That's weird. Okay, again, my opponent just hitting me, like, perfect things off the top of my deck. Because why not? Like, imagine I drew that instead of a land. They countered everything I cast, and then stole the perfect amount of things to also cast more spells of their own. Alright, you know what? I'm over it. Go high roll someone else. There are an immeasurable amount of bad hits in my deck that Xanathar just doesn't care about. But, yeah. There are so many bad hits in my deck. Like, just a ton of really bad hits. But, nope, we just hit mythic rares. That actually have text on them. Turok is protection from white? Yeah. That's funny. Well, that's not going to work out too well. Let's put Summon Bahamut. Could do a Tali. No. Really just want that Persist out. And I guess I'll cycle the... Well, there's nothing else. I could just actually play Squee. I could just play this. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That's what Squee... Slimefoot and Squee does, right? It's annoying to deal with. It's actually, like, super annoying. I'm not hiding this land, I'm just playing it. Sneak attack, okay. Well, Slimefoot has to die for me to do the thing with it. I'm gonna cycle this so I don't run into a sweeper with all of my stuff, because that continuously happens every time I try to cast my commander. Ulamog. 1, 2, 3. It's an out-of-nowhere 7 damage dealer. 7 damage could matter. I'm gonna say it probably does matter to sneak attack that. And do 7. For 1 mana. Potentially. Right? It's a cast trigger. Yeah, so I don't get any of this fancy text on it. That is maybe not a good idea here? Doesn't that get rid of just Slimefoot? I don't think that was a good idea. Well, if it's all you have, it's all you have. But I think they just cost themselves like the entire game there. I don't even care about your Shieldred, you can keep it. I don't even want to get rid of it. Especially, the only out I see is a Sweeper, and it'll kill Shieldred anyways. I might as well blow up the mana. Yeah, I don't think they wanted to do that. Maybe they didn't realize. Or maybe they wanted me to do that, or something, I don't know. It doesn't look like they wanted me to do that, though. I'm gonna blow up the Iron Crag. You gotta do something here. Okay, that gets rid of the last card in my hand. I can sneak attack it out for no reason. Why not? Why not? Just to do it. Doesn't do anything, but there it is, chilling. It gets around a discard trigger, to be fair, I guess. I don't care about Liliana, so that's gonna live. We're just trying to actually kill our opponent. I can't give this haste. I am moderately convinced that maybe killing Alright, I was about to say, maybe killing Liliana here with the Summon Bahamut's a good idea. Because I'm so far ahead, I might as well make it so I don't have to risk losing to this. If they go land Damnation, I do kind of have nothing. It probably is a good idea to kill this. Can I kill it without... Let's see, block there 3. I can put it to 1 loyalty? And then just hit him for 9. I shouldn't have faith in untapping with this again. Yeah, I should just guarantee the Liliana kill and just take the I'm super far ahead argument all the way to the moon. And you still have to essentially sweep the board because Slimefoot, as long as there's a sapperling, will always be a problem. But yeah, if I played this into a sweeper, we just like lose. It doesn't have haste. I guess I could play cards that give it haste, but... I don't know. Alright, we got there. Didn't involve the Undertaker, though. Did not involve the Undertaker. It could have involved the Undertaker. It would have swung for a lot. I don't think I'm playing cards like Rancor. Or whatever the other 2 are that come out of the graveyard. I don't think I'm playing those for this commander. I would be more interested in haste before trample. Rhythm of the Wild is kind of okay here. It feels weird to play Rhythm of the Wild in a deck like this. It really does. Also, I don't know if I'm fast enough to beat this. I could with all the giant dumb colorless things in my deck. This is a fast ramp, but it's only... It does kind of stop. I do run out of mana, or fast mana, at some point here. Alright, well, I'm still going to make my opponent feel like they're super far behind early, but that might not come to anything. Red. Alright, I have 3 mana turn 1, and my opponent did not give up. If they have Null Elemental Blast, I'm probably just going to throw my keyboard. This can't really get destroyed, so I don't know if casting it matters. Let's go ahead and cycle. Swing. Worldly Tutor. That doesn't really do anything. What would I ever put on the top of my deck? 4, 5. Kami? To get lands? I have 4 mana. Ice Steel Explorer? To get lands? Where are you, buddy? There you are. Also, this actually does have 10 power. They kind of have to do something about that. But it isn't a one-shot. It is not a one-shot. I should swing first. Correct. Oh! Still not there. Play with Ice Till. This is lethal. And small. I could have gotten Gulta, but... Alright, well, I was wrong. I'll admit it. I was wrong. Do I not have a green? I do not have a green. Tragic. Alright. I thought I could green Sun Zenith. I still have 3 lethal threats, so... Worm Coil would be enough. Worm Coil would be enough. Nope. Alright. Got it. Alright, well, that did it. Exploration Utopia Sprawl was actually fast enough, but if I didn't draw more mana, I don't know if this was fast enough on its own. Was it? Let me think about it. Was it fast enough on its own there? I cycled the thing here before they would get to 7 mana. I think it actually was fast enough. I'd have to go back and do math, but if that is the... It's hard to not keep that hand, right? But you can see all... Did they stumble at all? They did technically stumble, right? Turn 2, my opponent did nothing. They didn't play that. Yeah, they didn't play that. They did nothing. This deck almost always does something on turn 2. In fact, I think it kind of has to on turn 2. And if they had the Mana Rock on turn 2, like 99% of Ujin players mulligan for, and they had still things, you know, the remaining ramp spells, they would have had the mana to cast this. And with a 0, could have maybe stayed alive at 1 life if they had enough artifacts to exile all 3, because all 3 are lethal. They're at 1. So they play Ujin, they exile this. Yeah, there is a way, again, with a 2-mana Mana Rock and just another colorless card, we could just lose this game still. In fact, they could have held on to the Mox Opal, I think, for another Ujin trigger. Yeah, alright. Well, that's what it takes to beat that. Them not having it, and me having exploration. I'm not even sure if Ice Till Explorer was the right idea. I'm not really sure. I could have played Gulta. It dies all the same. They're at 1 life. I might as well just take the Mana Dork. It kills them in the same fashion. No green mana. Well, I can find green mana with the Troll, I guess. What is this? Ashling? Okay. Still not turn 1 green mana, I guess. Still gonna do it. Go on, stifle me. Do it. Am I upset if I lose this Llanowar Elves? Kind of? Do I Malakir Rebirth it is the main question. I don't know. I could. Maybe I do. Maybe that's like the best I should expect out of this. Who knows, maybe they even just give up because this is just that gross. You have to just do that again. Alright, so now there's a counter spell. I will play Green Sun for... What if I did nothing? No, I'm going to Green Sun for 2. Maybe just 1. Get Delighted Halfling. Green Sun for 2? Or, excuse me, for 1 for Delighted Halfling. Please counter it. Okay, they don't counter it. Let's grab Halfling. Not going to get Sylvan Safekeeper. Could have played Exploration, I guess. Chain Lightning? Okay. Leaving up counter yet again. Surprise, surprise. Do that. I think you have to counter this. Wow, you don't counter it. Alright, so... A cycle card... A land... I didn't get Cavern. I think just a land is fine. So, like, Generous Ent getting a land. That's fine, right? Yeah, why not? That's what I would like to do here. Let's grab... you. That's completely dead. Defense is a must counter. I can cast my commander twice. Can also maybe just not do that. Maybe I just cast this. I'm pretty sure this line that my opponent's playing is favoring me. But that's the nature of things. Well, I mean, you can cast your commander. I can grab another ramp spell. And I'm kind of just okay with that. Do I have a fetch land? I do not have a fetch land. I could still just grab one of these. Do I have a reanimate target? Oh, this is actually really sad. I don't have any good things to do right now. Faithless Looting? That way if it gets discarded, I'm fine. Okay. Green Sun again. Let's get rid of these two. One of these. Probably that one. And just Green Sun again. Eventually they're going to have to cast this counter. You know what? No. I'm not going to go even lower. I'm just going to do this. Not the most exciting gamble. Suppose I could have gambled Godo in the long run. Do we respect a wash away? I suppose I should. I think I should. Alright, let's think about this. You and you. Play these lands. Alright. Represent Iced Hill or something big, dumb, and green. And still dealing with this counterspell. But I can cast my commander twice now. Alright. Let's Respect spell pierce? Squee? Slime foot and squee? Yeah. So, still just devoutly leaving up counter magic, it seems. Which is kind of funny. Especially how I can just keep playing things until they cast a counterspell. I mean, you're gonna have to do it eventually. Okay, there it is. I don't know why they're doing it now. I feel like there was a lot of times I would have done it earlier. It's a little crazy to have held it that long. That's just, like, insane to me. Alright, well. Of course, now I have nothing. Yay! Oh. Cool. Well, that's an ideal card. Can I... the same thing, I guess? That's a Chandra. Well, swinging's not getting me far, I guess. I don't know. Nothing else to do. Anything to persist? No, not really. Does this give trample? Nope. I mean, they have a counter spell. I can't... I mean, I'm just going to play it. I'm not going to not play my commander. I can't persist it, though. Okay, you got it. Nice. Yep. Counterspell, 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 perfect counterspell, counterspell, counterspell. You got it. I just got completely embarrassed by that opponent there. Completely embarrassed. They're stuck on 3 lands for 10 years and I can't play the game still. It's kind of a joke. Guess I get rid of Buried Alive here. What is Worldly Tutor doing? Finding a ramp spell? Oh, this is gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so fun. I think it's finding a ramp spell. That's my take on that. Where is it? Bloomvine? Well, they only have 3 cards. So, there's that. Or rather, 4 cards. Oh, perfect fetch land. Yep. $14 plus, yep, you got it. Talent. Well, that was a game. I hope you all enjoyed it. Sure played the game. I sure had fun there. There's like nothing I can do. I was almost as fast as I could possibly ask for, shy of exploration. Doesn't matter. Nothing I can do. Until I could Blitz Mulligan for a removal spell. That's kind of lame. And boring. Speaking of lame and boring, maybe the Green Sun does something. It is certainly possible. I'm not ruling it out. I think this deck plays counter spells. I think it does. I'm still gonna just get Delighted Halfling. I could get something instead of Delighted Halfling, actually. I kind of like that instead here. Yeah, let's get Kami. That gets the ramp going in a way that can't be killed, and that seems more likely in against this deck here. Like a lot more likely. Yep. This is not a sapling, right? Nope. So you Get the other one. Assemble 4. What's in my hand? That. What is in my graveyard? Godo? That's a 4/4? No, it's better than a 4/4 here, so let's get... Ugh. Oh, all of these are just not... Okay, you know what? I'll take this. That's actually pretty good here, given my hand. Red, black... Okay. How many lands in our graveyard? Just 2? Okay. Again, it's a pretty fast opener, all things considered, from me. I'm blitzing into something that doesn't really impact my opponent, though. But I've set up the universe, more or less. Also, I do have Necromancy. I do just have that. Well, they didn't just discard 2 things to their commander, so either there's too many options, or... Okay. Sure. So I lose now? I don't think there's any conceivable way of respecting that. Okay, I'm a bit confused. I'm a bit confused at this. How do you not just cast Arden here? I don't understand. I do not understand. I think they just threw the game there. I mean, I'm gonna take it, but that seemed like a bit of an oopsie-doopsie. Yeah, I don't know what that was doing. Wasn't I screwed if they just cast it? I'm trying to think. They Arden, they get Psychic Frog. It goes back to me. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because I don't lose the Aftermath Analyst. Oh no, Analyst isn't a mana source. So that doesn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't draw into it. So I would not have been able to cast a Tali. Huh. Well, I mean, alright, I'll take it. I just feel like going for your commander there is better than not going for your commander. I don't really know what you're respecting. A sweeper or something? I don't know. I could have paid more attention to my assembled team too there, actually. And I'm not sure if there was another reanimate in the pile. I wasn't thinking about one, so... Well, not really, at least. Okay, so the cycle cards so far have been, like, actually really bad. Even if... I'm noticing getting my commander in play and having it have any amount of size is pretty easy. But that's the pain point. The pain point actually is not playing cycle cards to have it do something. That has actually not been the problem at all. So maybe it's right to just take all of these out. Well, leave that one, obviously, but... this could probably just be an actual card. This thing doesn't have to be... This thing doesn't have to be in here. I'll leave the land the land cycling ones. And I suppose the crocodile. But, like, those 3 can just go. Okay, I didn't actually have as much of that effect as I thought anyways. What about Traverse? I do really like what this is doing. Especially with my commander, but... I mean, you can see the perils of trying to cast this and have it do anything. Alright, what can I add? What can I add that helps me? What can I add that helps me? I don't know. I had a really bad gamble the game I cast it against that Mana Screwed player that I honestly 10 times out of 10 probably should have won that. I think I would have, honestly, I probably would have won if I was just playing into counter spells and letting them counter. I probably would have won. I think I would have won. I don't know what to do here. What's good that's not in here? Milling myself has not been an issue. I've not struggled with finding whatever generic herp derp thing. Journey's fine, I guess. I guess we could run... Another, like, life and death? Life and death? Right? Just run that? I don't care about cards that look at the top of my stuff. I've also noticed I've had tapped green sources maybe too often. Turn one. It recommends one less mountain again. That's funny. I suppose the black-red lands are kind of awkward. Like the verge and the pathway. I'd almost... Well, it's okay to just have the... It's not like this needs to be a forest. It really doesn't need to be a forest. Maybe Verge can come out. I don't really need a boatload of black and red mana. I don't know. It just seems like it's a little... It's been a little awkward, my mana. Which is odd for a green deck, but I suppose this commander is odd. Shieldred One Ring? I'd probably sooner just play Gristlebrand. It is a 7/7 for my commander, or rather has 7 power. It's a good reanimate target. It's a good thing to, at some point, I suppose, even just hard cast. It's... No, that's really about it, though, right? It's good with Defense of the Heart, but I don't know if it's like the go-to thing for defense. I would really like it to be hard castable, and maybe it just isn't. Maybe I should focus on other... What about, like, these? The discard a card to kill stuff? That has to be right. Or something interesting. I almost want to just get rid of Faithless Looting as well for another one of those kinds of cards. What do they call it? It's like, I think they're all instants or sorceries, but maybe there's an instant there. Ego Drain exiles the card. Yeah, so you got like bone shards. Like the one time I cast Faithless Looting, I actually just didn't like it. I'm going to try to just not play it. I thought there was another. Oh yeah, there's Bitter Triumph, I suppose. Wasn't there one that, like... Isn't there another one? I'm pretty certain there's another Bone Shards that doesn't sack a creature. Destroy? Sack creature artifact? Sack a creature. Really? So there's only one that discards. And the rest of them sacrifice. Huh. I didn't know that. I thought like there was as many sack ones as there were discard ones. I guess I had it backwards, huh? I had it like super backwards. Shoot. The big backwards, if you will. The big backwards. Okay, when in doubt, look at black-green two-colored cards. Grizzly Salvage finds a land. It mills me a little. It's like a funny cantrip. Knife Trick. Oh, Casualties of War. Well, you know what? Casualty is castable. It is castable. Is Knife Trick a 1-drop? I didn't see it. Can I please type? For once in my life, can I type cards? Discard a... Oh, this isn't a destroy, though. This is just... I mean, I'm not even running Lightning Bolt. I mean, I could run Lightning Bolt. I could run Lightning Bolt. But I'm not really playing this just to discard. It does help, though. I mean, this isn't bad. I've never seen it before. Excuse me. I'm fairly convinced I would prefer to have Lightning Bolt, but this is actually only having 2 on the pay instead of 4. You know what? Let's put it in. We can't possibly be upset by a card we've never played. It's not possible. I've won 7 games today? It has not felt like I've won 7 games. Okay. I'll take it. That's actually a pretty good sign. Alright. I thought we were not at 7. I don't think I've played 14 games of Magic, so, like, am I actually ahead still? Huh. Well, it's this game, I guess. I'm not gonna get rid of this. This can find a land as well, yeah, alright. Alright, yep. Exploration actually does like being on the draw, which is pretty cool. I mean, on the play it's gross too, right? But on the draw you're like, oh, sure. Find more lands or something. Do-do-do-do-do. I'm gonna try to scry a land on top. Maybe I should have waited until my opponent maybe did something about this, but yeah, because we have exploration, we want to draw lands. So, cycle this before I don't cycle it. For you. Let's play one of these. Grief is a good card here. At least I think it is. I can cast it too. I don't have to do the thing. I think I will just hard cast it. I think I will. Yeah. Feels rather annoying to deal with, so. Removal, Mox Amber. Let's take that. I will keep even more lands on top. That I will not keep. I would love for them to just cast a burn spell on this. Like, they could have actually done this after they cast Ral, so that was a miss sequence? More or less? So I can gamble for... No, that seems ridiculous. Kill that. Maybe I should cycle this. Actually, we could just cast Gamble. I can grab a Cavern. I can grab a 2-mana ramp spell. I can grab Death, actually. Yeah. Oh, we didn't discard the good card. Tragic. Still, you know what? I should maybe respect you know what? Maybe I don't respect it. I don't have any respect. My respect is not there. Show me a thing. Okay. They didn't show me it. Alright. Well, I'll take it. I don't care about the 1/1. I'm going to swing. And I don't know what that card is. It could be a Scry 2, Draw 2. If it's a counterspell, I would love to see it thrown here. Okay, it's not. Is it the extra turn thing? Is it the destroy a creature that make a bird or whatever? Raven form? It's been a minute since I've seen Raven form. I blew up the Mox so they can't have any mana when casting their commander. I don't care about this 1/1. Okay, well now the 1/1 is dead and my opponent now must do... Oh, no, it's not dead. No, listen to me. We'll go to combat. I'm not going to cast Scald it. I feel like I need my opponent to have something. Okay. Do I recast it, or do I do something else? I mean, we're here for this commander. I'm just going to cast him. Steal my opponent's mountain. They have to deal with summon they have to deal with both, actually. Both are lethal. Yeah. I don't know what they could have at this point. What was the card? It was an extra turn. Okay. It's the 7 mana one. Does this play the 7 mana one? Well, I mean, this person did, but I don't normally see that one. You see all, like, the 5 manas and the 6 mana one. I suppose the 7 is fine. If you get to it, you're just simply winning with your commander, obviously, but still. Yeah, the burn spells didn't line up too well at all. I think they kept this under the assumption they would be good, and to be fair, 90% of the time they would. If I had, like, Land Rails instead of Exploration. But that just wasn't the case. And, yep. We took the card draw. We took their ability to replace the bad cards, too. I suppose Burst Lightning did do something. It killed my commander. Whereas it otherwise could not have had I killed the Otter. Which, again, it's worth the trade. I'm not going to kill the Otter. I'd much rather deal with the Mox. Killing my commander with the Otter doesn't put him back in the game. Another gamble. Well, no, I can't. What am I talking about? It's not a hand. Oh boy, another one of these hands. Oh boy. Let's get red-green. And play the cheaty card. Name human? Doesn't quite matter? Doesn't quite matter. Reanimate. Worldly Tutor. Alright, well, again, for the 50th time, I am here to do this. I can cast it twice. What do you know? I can reanimate it, and then I can... What if I... Dark Rich... No, Worldly Tutor. Worldly Tutor. Green... Ah, no, I don't have it. Alright. Okay, well, that helps. Do I need this untapped? Black, black, black. 1, 2, 3, I do not. So we can play this. Lumra's good. Lumra's good. It's almost so good that I don't even want to cast my commander. But I have to, like, actually do something right now. I can't just do nothing, so. Oh look, a removal spell. Wow. I'm going to keep that in the graveyard, right? Persist. There's nothing to persist. Let's discard Worldly Tutor. And I guess I'll just run out Exploration for the sake of it. Alright, third time's a charm, surely. I drew a profoundly good card for the situation. I'm not gonna pull the trigger on this if they don't block it. Okay. I would have blocked that. I don't know why I wouldn't have blocked that. That's kind of surprising, huh? Alright. I don't know how you don't block that. 4/7 into a 5/5? They saw what I milled. There was no combat trick or anything. Maybe they're just a... I don't know. I'm blocking. I'm not respecting this. Okay, well. Doing it again. Does it... It does give trample. 12... Okay. Oh, I missed lethal. Tragic. I guess I'll just have to play more magic. Okay. Giant 8/8 is now in play. But I did miss lethal. Oh, never mind. The Dread Horde just kills him, right? I forgot. I forgore. I forgore. Yeah, they, like, respected this card. I almost shouldn't have played it, just so they, like, feel weird about not block. I don't really know what you're not block. It was a 4/7, and this is a 5/5 lifelink. That really... Okay, if they cast Invoke at the beginning of my first mana phase. It also just did nothing. They didn't even flip it. Could they have flipped it? Did they have time? Yeah, they had time. They could have flipped this. Each other non-token has persist. They could have flipped it. They could have had their commander chump block because it has persist now. I don't understand how you don't block a 4/7 with a 5/5 lifelink. I don't get it. That does it make sense to anyone? I feel like it doesn't make sense to anyone, or wouldn't make sense to most people. I don't know. This is like double removal spell. Yeah, it swung as a 4/7. And they didn't block it. How? It's got to make sense somehow. They would have been alive. This has lifelink. What does this do? Nothing? They have an infinite chump blocker now, too? They keep making a 1/1? What am I not seeing? There was nothing I could do at instant speed. That my opponent knew about. There's nothing I could do. But they like... It's like not blocking... The only thing I can think of is just this. Or some kind of combat trick that you would see in, like, Limited. Or Draft or something. Like, I don't know why you don't block... It's a 5/5 lifelink, and I'm swinging with a 4/7. It has lifelink, right? You might as well just block it and take the life. But they're like, no, I'm not going to block. And then they chose not to flip it. And I would say, like, that's so weird. The only thing that makes sense is if my opponent was watching my stream. But that doesn't make sense because I had Lumra. So they would have, like, played around that as well, and they didn't. So I don't know. They didn't block twice. They didn't block twice because I sent in all but lethal, and they could have persisted these and blocked, and they come back with counters. So they just, like, were not dead here on board, unless again they're just somehow magically knew I had a trample combat trick. All right, I don't know. I can't get it. I'm trying to get it, I can't. Is equally as likely as them just simply giving up, I suppose? I suppose that is just on the table as an outcome? As a thing that happened? We have seriously not struggled at all with putting cards in the graveyard. That has not been an issue. I've seen this person quite often. Quite often. Stab wound, right? And yeah. This isn't a hand. I'm on the play? Ugh, if I was on the draw, this would actually be hilarious. Alright, I'm gonna Worldly Tutor Delighted Halfling. Or not. Oh, okay. Alright, you're wrecked. Look at that. Can't be countered, you lose the game on the spot. Isn't that great? Get Schmied it. I've seen that person quite a few times. Not today, but... It's almost like you lose to a 1-drop. Isn't that beautiful? That is the first time I've done that. Somehow. Just Worldly Tutor turn 1 against a blue deck, and they just can't counter spells for the rest of the game. That's not even true. It's really just my commander, which has the capacity of doing nothing. My opponent could probably still win that, to be fair. But why bother when you can just play the next game? Why bother trying to think about anything at all? I have no means of casting Atali, but this is another game where Knife Trick actually has value. I could just leave Atali... Ah, alright. No, that makes life easy. So, discard Atali, Dark Ritual, Black Market Spaghetti, and I'm sort of out of stuff. I don't think this is a matchup where 3/2s matter. Well, it could matter here. Still gonna say it kind of just doesn't. Entomb is not exciting. Green, black, yep. In you go, 7/5. In you go. I can entomb Ice Till Explorer and cast it. I don't believe my opponent cares at all about the 3/2s, but I suppose it does gain me more life than I lose from the attack there, so we go straight to combat. Okay, I found a... What does that do? Doesn't do anything, huh? So if I entomb Ice Till Explorer, I can cast it from this, right? And then what? Still just lose? Is there anything I can entomb that matters? Play a land, I have 5. No, so 4 mana card that ideally can take care of their Rofellos? No. I can play Grief, though, and stem these problems. I guess. Ice Till is a fairly... Oh, I can, Oh, no, I can't evoke it. Okay. I think this is better than Ice Till, because I can't deal with Rofellos. Okay. I don't think I care about random 6/6. I don't care about that. Is it power? Yeah, it is. Okay, I do care then. Draw nothing. I mean, at this point. Combat? I can make this, like, you have to block it level scary. So I guess I can. I think I'm still screwed, though. You, and you. Play Gulta first? No, they can't realistically do anything. I should actually play Gulta. Yeah. And then so. Okay, they trade. And then I have still the same problems? Of course there's a land in their graveyard. Why wouldn't there be? Okay, they didn't do it, but it's roughly the exact same. Oh, Rofellos. Right, I'm sorry. I forgot my opponent has infinite mana. My bad. Silly me. You got it. Okay. I forgot. I forgot I was against Rofellos, and literally nothing you do matters. Because they just have Omniscience turn 2. My bad. I'll remember next time. It blows my mind that Rofellos is not, like, bracket 1. I'm so sick and tired of seeing it. Bracket 5, whatever. So sick and tired of it. I'm gonna gamble for something that kills this. I could gamble for life or in reanimate kind of cards too. No, I'm gonna just knife it. If I can find it. It's in here somewhere. Well, if I did get reanimate, I could have gotten a Tali in play, but obviously there's no way to know that. Is there... Did I get a land? No. Would have been nice to get a land in that chunk of stuff. But whatever. Commander's in play. It is a 7/5, and there's no pock in the way. I think Crucius is more reliable than Defense of the Heart. Potentially? Land. Yeah. Alright, I was hoping for a removal spell there. Okay. Gamble for a removal spell, and then 1 and 4 I lose the game, I guess. I did not lose the game. Whoop-de-doo. Block, take 8, 9, swing. Okay. Okay. Sure. Let's put that to the command zone. Let's play it again, I guess? What about this? It is trample. That doesn't really matter. 3/2/2/2. I'm gonna play this. I think I'm still interested in a removal spell, so maybe I just do lesser. Ugh. Well, that is a likely outcome. They can actually make food tokens. That's not good. That was not a food token. So with the Ashaya in play, it is like a infinite forced draw with the POC because you can't do anything about it. Of course, right. If ever I had the slightest chance of doing anything impactful, it flew out the window. I draw literally nothing, as one does. Literally nothing, of course. Nothing. Nope. Play that. Did I already play my land? No. Probably doesn't matter. Well, again, if you play POC, you're stuck in a draw. So, they probably don't even have to. I don't think I'm winning if they don't play Mythweaver POC, so... Be a bit surprised if they went for it. Alright, random land. Turn into... I don't know. Not that. Alright, well this draws a card, but again, if you play POC, we're just stuck. And I think they can win the game, they don't have to force a weird draw. I have, like, not even close to lethal. Well, this gives you a bunch of tokens and stuff, I guess, but that doesn't win. Are there any, like, weird lands that could be scary? No, I didn't see any. Oh, Rogue's Passage. That is sort of a two-shot, I guess, with their commander. More or less. They drew a card. Huh. That's odd. Okay, so Disciple can eat my commander and I can draw like 15. Atali can do nothing. I can Timeless Agent. There's no there was no trample. Alright, let's swing. Entomb. Okay. I can't entomb anything at instant speed that, like, blows up my opponent's face or anything. Grief? No, I can't cast it. Lumra? So, reanimate the 15. Draw 15. Or 14. I can now Emrakul, which is huge. Let's play this. Do I have a forest? I do. Green. Nope, that's not what I want from that. Oh, I had a forest anyways. Black. Another land. Fatal push the Provisioner. Emrakul you? Well, you could eat the foods anyway. I can't do anything about that. Is this even right? No, yeah, I guess you might as well. Like, whether you eat them or I eat them, it doesn't really matter. Let's get rid of you, greater, and pass. Get rid of lands. This is a confusing game. So, opponent has nothing. Can I get rid of stuff? Get rid of that. I'm gonna seek. Vorin collects. Let's kill. Let's kill the, Why can I not crack these treasure tokens? Kill both of these. Actually, you know what? I should wait till post-combat. They're gonna do it anyways. So... Okay. I don't think necromancy's doing anything. Um, I think I still just lose. There's like nothing to do. Okay. Not even from the opponent's graveyard. I have 1, 2, 3 lands for that. That doesn't really do anything. Did I hit anything good? No. I think I still have to just look at their hand. Yeah, I can't find any way to survive it. It's just, nothing's working. That would have stopped some things, kind of? Not really. Lumra makes... They have a bunch of forests, yeah. That doesn't change too much, but... Just a bunch of forests in their graveyard they can cast. I mean, we both have infinite mana anyways. Well, it would be great if they stopped, like, drawing only creatures off Great Henge. That'd be pretty cool. Great Henge has drawn literally nothing but creatures. My next turn is my last... my next turn is my last turn, but I don't have any way to do anything here. I just don't have outs in my deck to mono green. They're just a better version of me. I could have forced a draw, but I'm obviously not going to do that. Cool. Alright, yep, there are no outs in my deck to mono green. There's nothing, not even Emrakul is good enough. There's nothing I can do. I just lost. Whatever. Alright, well, that ruined my drive to continue. Who would have guessed? Literally just a wall of mono green decks, and I can't do anything against them. Even though I'm a green deck. But apart from that, I think this commander is actually kind of cool. It is doing like its own thing, and I did not at all struggle with giving it any amount of power when it swung. It's just the thing it does is really bad. Especially the fact that, like, you have to swing with this, and then when it dies, you don't even get to continue casting, or, like, have the option to play the cards that it milled. They're just gone until you cast it again. So, like, you have to swing with it, because it's not an ETB, and you have to have it live to get to the cards. I didn't really think about that until it started to come up more and more, where, like, yeah, I can swing with it, but now I can't cast the cards, because it died in combat. Am I going to play a wall of protection spells for this thing? No, I'm not going to do that. This is a format where Tifa would just not care at all. In fact, we played against Tifa, and guess what? It didn't care at all about this. It wants to swing with a large threat really fast, right? Or much faster than us. There's no time to do anything with this card against, let's say, something like Tifa or Rofellos. They just don't care about this at all. I saw a POC player too. I actually had, I don't know if I'll put it in the YouTube video, but I had like a 20-minute game against a POC player just now, and I Emrakul'd them. I stole their turn. We could have forced the draw with the Ashaya POC and just like cast it to force a draw, and then we'd just be staring at each other for 10 years, which would be kind of lame, but I'm not going to do that. And I lost. Like, nothing I did mattered against a POC player. Nothing. It was turn 25. I had the entire world at my fingertips. Didn't matter. I was doing everything I wanted to do. Didn't matter. So I don't know. Actually, you know what? To be completely fair, I don't know where these were in that package of things that were happening, but I think there was a window to like tutor for Buried Alive, and I, to be fair, could have like got this and reanimated it. That might have been a line that I didn't see in that exact game there, but apart from that, we were just doing this back and forth, reanimate Giant Threat, blow up some of their stuff, reset POC, and it just didn't matter, right? Green doesn't care at all about what we're doing, and it's still 60% of the meta of the field of the format, so the best thing to do is mimic it as close as possible. And it is nice that you just don't need 1,000, like, oh, not that thing, these. I did not have to play 55 cycle cards. In fact, I almost think I don't need any. I really did not at all struggle with giving my commander any power. Oh yeah, I could have, I guess, crocodiled the 500 Scute Swarms and then stab wound them. Well, don't they die though? Oh yeah, they all just die. They would all just die. Yeah, they don't get stab wound. It's not the other one where they would lose life for all the creatures that died. That Massacre Worm would have killed them, not this. I would not play Massacre Worm here. The sneak attack is awkward, especially how like the Eldrazi you want to play with Annihilator, you can't play because you don't want to shuffle your graveyard away. You really do not want to shuffle your graveyard away. So sneak attack, kind of awkward with the other ones. I'm still kind of okay with it, but it felt a little lackluster. Although in general, it has felt lackluster. I think it was that game specifically. Again, that POC game that was 30 minutes. I did gamble for a removal spell, and I'm like, I'll just gamble for a reanimate spell because I have a Tali in my hand. And I actually did discard a Tali, so if I went that route, I would have won before the game took 30 minutes. Would have won there. Journey is extremely slow. Didn't really feel like I was ever going to use this in any meaningful capacity. I never really did use it in any meaningful capacity, unfortunately. I thought there were more, but there aren't. Knife Trick was kind of nice, just discarding a giant card in my hand that I had no other means of discarding it. Felt nice with my commander. There's only that one and I guess Bone Shards. I thought there were more than just these, but apparently there are not. So, kind of funny. A little awkward. All the other ones like sack creatures, which we do not want to do ever. So, but I didn't like Faithless Looting, to be fair. I just didn't like it. It didn't feel like it was really mattering that much. But apart from the mono green decks, I actually had a pretty good win rate. I think I did. Yeah. I won more than I lost if we don't count the green stuff. The green stuff really at no point across really all the kinds of green decks. I played against all sorts of different mono green commanders. Then none of them really cared at all about this at all. If you're both playing solitaire, then your opponent's going to have a better solitaire game. If you're ignoring each other, your opponent is going to ignore you better than you're ignoring them. Even though I guess the combo blitzing to a Godo combo is, something you have that maybe they don't have. But it's hard for that to matter when your opponent has 6 mana on turn 3 and you can't do anything. So it's like you're almost forced, it felt like, at least in the green matchups. It almost felt like I was forced to just play a ton of interaction, which I'd have to just put a bunch of it in. And I've talked about this before as well. When you do that, your game plan is hindered because you're just trying to stop your opponent from doing theirs, but you're not necessarily advancing your game plan. And the green deck can just keep doing it because it is just like an aggro deck where, like, yeah, you can kill their recurring damage dealing threat, but they're going to still chip life away at you at an angle that you cannot maybe consistently stop. And let's say Rofellos, the most egregious one right now, does that. It just chips away at you by ramping, even if you have dealt with like the main ramp source, the main ramp spell. It's going to slowly do the same thing anyways, and you're just running out of time very fast. So, and it doesn't have to actually commit the damage into your face. The damage is just by playing more forests than your opponent has cards in their hand, and they can't do anything. So, it's hard to play interaction just so you're at the same pace as your opponent, but you're only casting removal and you're not advancing your board state, while your opponent might just randomly cast a rampant growth that you can't, like, Doomblade or anything, and they're still pulling ahead. And then when the dust settles and you're starting to do your game plan, your opponent has like 9 forests, and they just untap and cast like Ulamog or something, and it's like you didn't even do anything impactful, having killed Llanowar Elves 10 turns ago. So it's hard to do that. It's hard to buy time and also use that time to actually win. Like Ujin, right? You can naturalize all of their mana rocks, but if you're not doing anything else, eventually they're just going to cast Ujin anyways, and what you have nothing to show for it, right? You naturalize 3 times, you cast your commander, and it's swung as a 7/5 twice. Your opponent just plays the 7th wastes and then casts it, and you lose. So it's just not a great way to go about it. I did actually have a fairly good experience against control decks, oddly enough, but I guess that's because control doesn't like to see 5 lands a turn kind of strategies, like big green decks, or like Tron or something. Historically doesn't seem like control likes to play against those big mana decks, and that's the vast majority of the format. Sometimes you can get under all of this by being extremely fast, right? Like Exploration is just so fast that it actually let me beat an Ujin player. And even still, it's funny, even with Exploration, it felt like it was super close. If my opponent had a 2-mana rock that game, I might have actually still lost by like 1 life or something. It's just nuts how, like, the fast mana is so good that don't be surprised that this isn't like crazy good or anything. I still like it. What it is doing is pretty cool. However, unfortunately, what it's doing is almost done identical to Slimefoot, I feel. After having played it, it felt like Slimefoot could have just been in the command zone, and my deck would have just been a little bit better. Without really... If you were not going to change a single card, but you were looking for a commander that was roughly similar, I think Slimefoot could play... It would obviously play a lot of different cards to just be a better Slimefoot deck. But if you were to just swap them, I think instantly, having done this, the deck is better. It's just better. That's it. Those are the words. That's it. It's better if you do that. So if you want to play this, you can do that if you want. You can swap them, and then like play this sometimes if you want. And then if you don't want to play that because you keep losing, you can play this and maybe win a little bit more. So, but with that being said, it is cool to have this giant out of nowhere scary thing. I think my favorite cards in this deck were like these 2 here. I think it's just these 2, right? Yeah, these 2. Giving it trample and immediately a bajillion power, or this thing with a funny combat trick and also trample for a turn. These were really cool cards with this commander. I must admit, they were cool. And there were a bunch of other cycling cards. if you do cycle spam, you have access to, like, fewer unique cards because you keep cycling, but the cards you're cycling to are stronger. I suppose so. I don't really know what I would take out for these, because whatever you take out is one less powerful card to find. But I will say maybe Journey was way too slow. What else was too slow? Traverse actually felt too slow as well. A lot better in POC than it is this thing. A lot better in POC, but sometimes it's cool, right? You just get 7 lands, and then now you can cast other things normally. You can mimic the decks. It's like build your own Rofellos, I guess. What else? Actually, it's almost exactly like build your own Rofellos. I found myself finding Ice Till Explorer a lot. While that is cool, it is more... You always want to, like, reanimate something that is winning very fast, like a Summon Bahamut is a problem for a lot of decks or something. But I did find myself just grabbing Ice Till with, like, Buried Alive or Entomb, just so I could reanimate fast and blitz out a bunch of mana and whatnot. I could have... I guess Gristlebrand could have been in here, but Ice Till Explorer is really, really good with this commander. Really good with this commander. All you have to do is mill, and you can just play one of those cards. I still don't like Mesmeric Orb. While you can cast something of the pile of milled cards were just milled, that is cool. It's inconsistent, and again, helps your opponents a lot. In fact, I think I would have lost even faster against 2 of those 3 decks that interacted with their own graveyard to some capacity. Had I milled them for 20 or whatever, or even more than 20, I would have just lost faster. And I don't think there were any games where if I played it and I was going to win if I didn't, I would have lost. I'm not sure. I'd have to look. I obviously don't know the context of my opponent's decks, but in games where you would have won, you could actually cost yourself the win by playing Mesmeric Orb. But it does give you access to your opponent's graveyard a little with reanimate spells. Although most of the time you're probably going to reanimate your own stuff because you're also milling with Mesmeric Orb. But because Journey's so slow, an Orb can potentially do something while your commander's in play, I suppose it's worth trying. I don't have a lot of faith in it, but it's, I suppose, worth trying, I guess. You can have a game where you play your commander and your opponent doesn't kill it 5 times in a row, which did happen a lot, and you untap, you just mill a bunch, and you're sitting there with your commander, and now you don't necessarily have to attack because you're just doing this thing, I guess. You still have to find a way to actually win, and this deck can win with damage. This is a lot of damage. I don't feel convinced I want Rancor suddenly, but there is the other one, the Trample Aura. What is it called? What does it do? This thing? So, like, Mesmeric Orb can mill it, and then you can just cast it. I guess Mesmeric Orb with your commander out, you can cast it without putting it to your hand. But this is kind of interesting, I guess. You could just slap that on your commander, suddenly it has Trample, and you're milling a bunch, so you're always going to have a big creature in the graveyard, so it's going to swing for like 7 or 8 or something, and now it has Trample. It's triggering stuff with its things and whatnot. I don't know. You could put this in the graveyard too. It doesn't let you, it doesn't suddenly give these things flash, which now we have to, I suppose, compare it to Azula, right? When Azula gets in the red zone, the game is like over. They have fire breathing, what is it? Firebending 2 or something, and then double all the spells in their hand. This has, like, you swing with it, maybe it gets power, and if it survives combat, you now have access to a card from the graveyard, maybe. And most of the time, it might just be a land. So, where Azula wins when it attacks, this does not. It doesn't feel fair to compare it to the things you play against all day, because this is not something you see all day, because there are so many things that are way better than this. I don't know if this would be very good in Standard Brawl. I don't think it's legal in Standard Brawl. but there's not a lot of crazy things in Standard that this could, like, really use. 60 card deck does help it be a lot more, I guess, consistent, but you lose a lot of the fast mana and whatnot, so it just takes even longer to get in play. In a format where everyone's playing Roxanne, I don't think this is going to do much. Or, I guess, Ketramos. Ketramos is still in Standard, right? Yeah. You just kill this over and over. I really don't think you should play protection spells. They just feel awkward. They are, I guess, okay specifically because you can mill them inside of combat, and now you have access to a combat trick, so it lives, but that's all you did with your free spell, is keep your commander alive, right? It just randomly has a combat trick that kept it alive. That's it. You know, that was the card. That was the card advantage. I don't know. I don't feel like that's a good line to go, especially if you want to cast it on curve all the time. I guess Lightning Greaves is alright. I was playing, what is it? Sylvan Safekeeper with that in mind. So, like, I guess Lightning Greaves is okay too, right? Especially if I want to give it haste. I mean, we could just play Lightning Greaves instead. Giving my commander haste is kind of cool. It doesn't really give me access to the cards it mills because I'm tapped out. I cast my commander. It doesn't save you from a removal spell in response. Doesn't stop a counter spell. I don't know. Lightning Greaves isn't as exciting as I thought it would be when it was first released. It hasn't impressed me as much, but there's still commanders where if you slip it on, you're in a much favorable position, like, I guess sometimes Tifa, if it's a Tifa deck that doesn't really target Tifa, it just, like, almost just wins, probably. VV is another huge one, right? But for the most part, I haven't been too blown away with this. Rhythm of the Wild could have helped, maybe, instead of, say, I don't actually even know what. Maybe Traverse is too goofy. I could just play Rhythm of the Wild, and is, like, uncounterable and has Riot or whatever. Maybe, I suppose. Dark Ritual not helping to be able to cast as fast feels really bad, because it's the mana requirement's too steep. I don't know, when it works, it's really cool. I think this is a cool commander when it's doing its thing. I will say that, but you gotta find people who let you get away with that, and those kinds of decks are, like, not that common, right? I mean, we are playing a format that is somewhat closer to, like, Legacy, I feel, than it is, say, Modern. And it doesn't let you do things like this. But it is what it is, right? I'm playing a lot of those really egregious things myself. You can play Exploration. Exploration was absolutely disgusting every single game I had it. So we're doing the thing as well. Crucius felt very random. Very random. It's like, I need a removal spell. You're not going to get one. If you say lesser, you're going to get a land. I need Ulamog. You're going to get random draft filler with Cycler in not Ulamog. So it felt all over the place. Not really Crucius's fault, though. But still a cool deck. It's cool. It has interesting lines to it. I like Jund piles of things. This is cool. You could definitely play more removal if you wanted to. You could maybe even run board wipes. I don't know if that would save you against the decks that you're losing to. It doesn't save you against, like, control decks or anything, so I don't really know. You're trying to go, like, bigger than the decks you would sweep against, I feel. So, that is what it is. Still a cool commander. I'd say it's, like, worth playing. If you don't own it, I don't know, but I did have to craft it. I don't regret crafting it. It led to some interesting games. But yep, let me know what you thought about it. If there's, like, 2 or 3 cards that you find I should have been playing that I just didn't see. All the lists I saw online, which I normally don't look at lists, but I did this time. They were from, like, 2024. I didn't even know this commander was that old. I didn't know it was in the game. Whoops. But there you go. So if there's, like, new cards that maybe, or just old cards or something I didn't think about, which I'm sure there were, let me know. But that's that. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.